Do you like coming to Canada performing?
I love Canada because this is where my family can't find me. And, and I'm going to have to move here if certain things happen politically.
Comedians hate Donald Trump.
In the U.S. I don't know if all comedians do, but I would vote for Donald Duck before I voted for Donald Trump. I just think he's scary and out of control. And I'm not voting for somebody who's orange. not to be orangist.
Are you an orangist? You're an anti-orange.
The Todd Shapiro Show.
For our next guest, I decided to play this. Right here. Crank this up, Shay. Here we go. Oh, wait. Is it playing? Tell me this right there.
Our next guest is a talented comedian who will be performing this weekend at Governor's Comedy Club on Long Island. Here's the very funny Wendy Liebman, ladies and gentlemen.
Live in studio, Wendy Liebman. Woo. Wow.
Did you see his beard, David Letterman's beard, recently?
It's wild what has happened. I mean, he's a guy who just said, I'm living life, right? Like, I just want to be free. Is that what's going on there, Wendy?
Is that what's going on with you?
No, for me, I couldn't shave ever because I couldn't grow facial hair until I was 28 years old. And so I always wanted to have a beard and look tough and look, because I'm skinny, I'm slight, or at least I used to be.
What?
And then I used to be like really skinny and geeky and stuff. And then I grew it and I haven't shaved it. I only trim it. I've never had a razor to my face once.
Me neither. That's so weird. No, I saw this woman with like half of her head shaved, and I'm thinking, does she just shave one of her legs?
I wonder if it would be like she'd be out of balance walking too, like just always sort of going to the right,
teetered over.
Wendy, nice of you to come on the program here. You are absolutely no stranger to performing on not only massive stages but with a massive talent. Obviously, doing the Letterman show, a lot of the late night talk show circuit. You did Larry Sanders in the day. Do you like coming into kind of broadcasters that aren't as big as that? You don't mind?
You know what, Todd? I'm funniest one-on-one, so I love it.
You love it.
I love it. Actually, I have to be honest, in all seriousness, I just got Sirius Radio. I had it in my car. It came free with the car, but then I let it lapse. But then I just started paying for it, so I have it back. And your name is on my dashboard all the time.
You're not. You're just saying that.
No.
So
it's always Todd Shapiro. But no, but then it's always a comedian doing bits. So it's not the show. It's like left over from when you were...
Oh, I like that they haven't programmed that in well. And that my name is getting exposed out there. Let's not tell anybody.
Right?
Yeah.
So then when I got an email from you guys, I was like, oh my God, Todd Shapiro. Wow.
I'm going to be on the Shapiro show. Yeah. Because of some faulty error of a guy in programming. Yeah. I'm bigger than I am. That's amazing. I wish that guy had control of billboards. That'd be the best. Well, Wendy, thank you. Do you like coming to Canada performing?
I love Canada because this is where my family can't find me. And and I'm going to have to move here if certain things happen politically.
Comedians hate Donald Trump
in the U.S. I don't know if all comedians do, but I would vote for Donald Duck before I voted for Donald Trump. I just think he's scary and out of control. And I'm not voting for somebody who's orange. not to be orangist.
Are you an orangist? You're an anti-orange.
And I'm not very political. Like, no. I should run for president because I would change two things. I would make daylight savings. Do you guys have daylight savings?
We're right on the same thing as you guys.
I would change it because right now it's 2 a.m. and then suddenly it's 3 a.m. and that's my hour. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's my fucking hour of sleep. Can I say that?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
All right. I would make it 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Now it's 5. Right? People could go home.
Doesn't work. Okay.
I know. So lose your hour.
That's not.
Okay. The other thing I would do if I were president, I would legalize marijuana. I don't even smoke it anymore because for health reasons. But if you inhale secondhand smoke, you still get munchies for leftovers. Okay. But I would just legalize it. I think people would be a lot nicer if pot were is it legal here?
They're trying to figure it out. They're saying it'll be completely decriminalized in a year from now, but they're busting the dispensaries, even though they kind of said they could be open. No one really knows what's going on.
It's a gray area.
Right? It's a green area.
It's a green area.
It's a very interesting time right now, right, Jay? That's sort of what's going on.
It's a green area with sirens on it. Yeah.
Wait, why did you point to him?
Well, he smokes a lot more weed than I do. He does a lot more of everything than I do.
Well, they say that it's the research is that the pot is good for cancer cell, like it kills cancer cells because the cancer cells are going, oh, what was I doing again? I don't know. It'd be funny.
I'm just too lazy to attack. I'm too lazy to get to there. Jay, bro, you like your weed though, right?
Yeah, I think it should be legal. I think everyone should. I think it should be mandatory.
We wouldn't have mandatory.
Yeah, everyone has to smoke it if I'm president.
Wars, people would be nicer, right?
Yes.
All wars would be cupcake wars.
Exactly.
Right?
Like the UN, I would hotbox the whole thing.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to get real high and figure shit out with cupcakes.
Pass the peace pipe.
Yeah.
Instead of shock and awe, it's just like a big food fight. I like it. Like in the old days of cafeteria. Like that's the way when you just see, it doesn't matter. I always say, especially within the Middle East, that they should just start throwing bacon at one another. And then eventually someone's going to decide they like it and it's going to solve all, because bacon is very good.
It's delicious and crispy.
Yes, it can be. It
smells good.
It smells good. It brings happiness. That's what pork does.
That's a good solution.
I think so. Wendy's in town at the Comedy Bar Friday, Saturday, and are you there Sunday or just Friday and Saturday?
Tonight, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, today's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, that's what it is. I missed the THU there. Thursday, July 7th, Friday, July 8th, Saturday, July 9th. Coming up to Toronto. When's the last time you had performed here?
I did Just for Laughs in Toronto about 5 years ago, and I got to meet Jimmy Fallon then, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, super cool.
And then I got to be on his show when it was not the Tonight Show, when it was the late night show. The nicest talk show host. He had he was the coolest.
He's super sweet, isn't he? Like he's almost a little too nice to everybody. He's like, come on, Jimmy, be mad once in a while.
I felt it was genuine.
Okay.
Like I really think he's excited to be where he is. And I think he's so uber talented. Like nobody comes close to that. Like I do a few impersonations. I don't know if you want to hear.
I didn't want to be that show host who said, do you mind doing them? Because normally comedians hate when you ask them to do their shtick.
Okay.
But now that you suggest
it. Quick. Okay. So I do Lois from Family Guy. Okay. Peter. Okay, that's it. That's all I do. And I do Camilla from The Sopranos. Tony. It's the same voice. And then... is that any good?
I thought, I was ready to, I'm ready to go tune in old Soprano episodes now. I missed that show.
And then, what's her name? Abby on Ray Donovan. Do you watch Ray Donovan?
I don't watch Ray Donovan. I hear it's a great show.
Ray. It's the same. It's all the same.
You're very talented.
I know.
Wow. A lot of work goes into that, doesn't it?
And then I can do Beth Finkelstein, but you don't know her. She's my best friend from high school. But I do her really well.
How would she say Todd?
Todd. No, I don't know. We were cheerleaders in high school, my friend. Well, we weren't on the team. We were just very positive about everything. I just love making you guys laugh.
You're very good at it.
You're not even stoned.
Well, Jay.
Wow. Are you vaping?
No, I don't vape. I'm old-fashioned. I like to roll giant blunts and burn them with fire. Put it at the fire, smoke in my lungs. That's how I do it.
Although you had a mistake with edible spoon the other day.
Yeah, I was making weed butter. Have you ever tried this?
I've heard about it.
So you take butter, you take weed, you put them together. Great times, right? It's beautiful. But I also was eating peanut butter. And I had 2 spoons out. I had the weed butter spoon and the peanut butter spoon. And I thought the peanut butter spoon was the spoon I was putting in my mouth, and I put the weed butter spoon in my mouth and was high for 36 hours. Yeah, traumatic mistake.
I bet you ate a lot of peanut butter.
I think so. Yeah.
It's very dangerous because you don't know how much you're eating or how potent it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
The butter is like the amount of butter I ate would have made like a dozen cookies.
Oh, whoops.
So big mistake. And as soon as it's in your mouth, it's game over. So
you should watch what you're eating.
I should watch what I eat. Yeah.
Literally, you need to put your eyes on.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Wendy Liebman. You've been doing comedy for like a real long time, and I think it's a testament, obviously, to how talented you are. But I'm always amazed by people who make really a great career in something they love to do. Do you in fact still love to do this?
I really do. I mean, my favorite part is getting on stage. And I wasn't joking when I said I like the intimate audiences, which is why I'm so excited about doing Comedy Bar, because it's like a smaller setting. Because I feel like I can just get down and dirty and be myself. And I love that. The part I don't like is traveling. And sleeping in a hotel room. Like, I'm always thinking, there have been 1,000 other people whose heads have been on this pillow. Like, that's how I think. And that kind of grosses.
Are you a bit of a Howie Mandel germaphobe?
I'm not even a germaphobe.
No.
And I have that in my family. Like, one of my aunts, she used to put down toilet paper on the seat, like even at our relative's house, at the dinner table. I'm just doing material for you.
I love that you just the material triggers in though. I don't worry. I like the material
the way
stuff.
My brain thinks.
Is it hard for people, Wendy, to have a serious conversation with you because your brain always goes to a quick punch, like you're just so good and quick at it? To people like, is Wendy ever serious?
No, because it's only because I'm here on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus my husband's heard all my material now. So.
There it is again.
Yeah.
You
Every
can't stop.
once in a while, I'll repeat a joke, and he's like, I know.
Is he a fan still, though?
Oh, yeah. And he's the funniest person. He's just really shy. So, like he said, he would just get on stage and pee in his pants. So he likes being behind the scene. Like, he was a writer on a sitcom called Boy Meets World. So he likes being behind the scene. And he gives me jokes every once in a while.
That's great.
About him mostly, but
so he's self-deprecating. He's which are the best kind of people, I find.
Yeah, and my husband is. He was the person who inspired the song "Spoonful of Sugar." I don't know if you're familiar.
A spoonful of sugar? No way.
Yeah, because my father-in-law and his brother wrote all that music.
I read a little the Shermans, right?
Yeah.
And they're involved with the Disneys and writing and producing, and so I read some of the. I did a little due diligence on the interview.
You're stalking me.
Yeah.
So my husband came home one day. He was like 7, and his dad said, "What'd you do today?" And he said, "We got the polio vaccine." And my father-in-law said, "You let them put a needle in your arm?" And he's like, No. They put the medicine on a sugar cube, and that was on a spoon, and we just ate it. And so my father-in-law was like, spoonful of sugar helps the medicine.
Wow, that's actually, that's legendary. And now Jay Brody's taking that to a different level with a different type of spoon and a different type of medicine. It's kind of amazing how it's all come full circle.
A spoonful of weed butter makes you high for 36 hours.
It makes rainbows come out of your hands too.
You saw a rainbow, and
out of my
end
hands.
of it was a pot of pot.
Yeah.
So wait, how did you come down?
There's nothing you can do, Wendy.
Right.
You just have to ride that dragon.
On a positive note, it was like he was at Disney World for 3 days.
Were you on that ride? It's a small world.
That's all it was. Yeah, 3 days of that.
Oh my God, were you scared? Did you go to the hospital?
No, the hospital's not going to do anything. They don't there's nothing you can do other than the best thing you can actually do is try not to burn any fat in your body because it's stored in the fat. Yeah, so if you start to sweat, or if you ingest too much weed orally, and then you start to sweat, you'll just get super high out of nowhere.
Oh, so it's like time release.
Yes, it's time release.
Dude, this is why years ago I did an edible brownie and I was so screwed for 3 days because I'm so anxious. I was always releasing I always
you were sweating.
Yeah, I don't stop. That's why it was a crazy long time high.
A friend of mine is a vet in Denver, and he said that when weed became legal, they saw so many pets coming because the dogs would get into the weed, and so they saw they treated a lot of
animals. And I know
dogs.
because I had a pet who accidentally
Really?
did. Yes, yeah.
Did it create any good musicals?
Totally laughed at South Park nonstop. It was just like, it was amazed. Wendy Liebman's hanging out with us. You knew Gary Shandling.
I did.
Yeah, I had a very fortunate opportunity to meet him once briefly, just for about a half an hour at a wedding, and what a kind, gentle soul.
Wow.
What was he like for working with him?
He was, I guess, a fan, and he asked me to be on the Larry Sanders Show, and somebody just tweeted a picture of me on that show. And so I retweeted it. I had very short hair then, and I was doing jokes about having been married, even though I had never been married. But I guess the episode was his sidekick was having an affair, and he took the day off. And so, he was watching this show from a hotel room with his hooker. This is the sidekick, and I'm doing jokes about being married, and so it was guilting him out. Basically, that was it. So anyway, Gary just put me on the show because he thought I was funny. And
Wow.
I wish I had gotten to know him better. We just went to his memorial, which was just the most riveting, beautiful testimony. Like Judd Apatow put together this whole night of one after the other, people talking about what a great person he was.
Was Jeff Goldblum? Did he go up there?
You know what? I think he was playing the piano while people were coming in. Is that the wedding?
That's
you
the
were
connection,
talking about?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was playing the piano. We kept saying, was that Jeff Goldblum?
Probably.
'Cause nobody ever mentioned it.
Oh, interesting.
But it was Sarah Silverman and Kevin Nealon and his cousin Mike Shandling, who now, I don't know, he reached out to me after Gary passed, and he's been like my biggest fan now. So I said to Mike, I didn't know Gary that well, and I feel remiss about it, but I feel like now I have a little piece of it because we're friends. So,
have you ever sort of taken a reflection back and looked at this great career you built out and go, like, I can't believe the amount of star power and friends I made in an industry of really like the cream of the crop. You're very funny, but there's a lot of very funny people. Is there some formula that's helped you that you would maybe give advice to a young comedian to say, hey, listen, like there's a lot of funny people, but there's also a way you got to be to like, and you just seem very friendly. I mean, I don't know if that's what it is, but is there any advice you would give to someone to say like you could have this too?
The advice that I give to new comics is get on stage as much as humanly possible and try new material every show, because I haven't tried material every show. Like now I do, but had I been trying material every show instead of like just honing what I had, I think I would have been more successful. But I was just talking in the green room or whatever that room is.
It's a board conference room, and it doubles as a green room because the budgets aren't very high in the Canadian division of SiriusXM. But no.
Well, it was very accommodating.
Yes.
So we were just talking about how like I could be bitter because people who have opened for me over the years include Ray Romano and Jim Gaffigan and Mitch Hedberg. So I could be bitter, but I really am so like spiritual. Well, because the material thing isn't working out, but I'm very spiritual, and I think I'm exactly where I should be. Like this is just who I am. I'm on my own path. So I think to give advice, just be the funniest person and figure out how to travel.
Yeah, it's a nonstop. Does it get tiring with the longer you do it? Is it actually physically exhausting on you?
I sleep on planes. Like I can fall asleep as soon as the plane takes off. I'll put the tray table down and put like a sweater on it, and I'll fall asleep.
Wow.
So I've gotten really good at yoga. But it gets old. The traveling gets old. Yeah.
And New York is home or LA is home?
I live in LA, but I'm from New York.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And the LA lifestyle is there. Wendy Liebman's hanging out with us, by the way. Is the LA lifestyle, does it have to be what people probably stereotype of it being, pretentious, bullshit, all that kind of stuff?
People are so phony there, and I hate that. I fit right in. No, I say LA is all smoke and mirrors. By that, I mean pot and cocaine. But honestly, I think LA, Hollywood is just like life. It's whatever you make it. Like, I think there are those people, but I met my husband there. helped raise his kids there. I have really good friends there. I have 14 therapists there. That was a joke. But
I didn't doubt it.
I really think it's what you make it.
Smart. Yeah. And I mean, it's a pretty big place, so you could find, I'm sure, pockets of kindness and good people too.
Yeah, and I love the comics there. So, and I started a room. If you ever come to LA, you could do my room. You do stand up.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible. I'm not funny at all. Jay might be able to, but no. I've tried. I did it once, my first time I ever did it, and I was great. And then I've tried it 3 other times, and I literally was carried off the stage like Andy Kaufman, like legs in the air, like I wouldn't. I'm just the worst. So and anyway, but we brought the show out there, and we worked out of the Laugh Factory, and obviously went to the Comedy Store. But what's your room?
It's once a month.
Okay.
It's a show in Studio City. It's called Locally Grown Comedy, and I've had everybody from George Lopez to Arsenio Hall to Russell Peters to Kathy Ladman to Tig Notaro to Carol Leaf. Like I have about 6 or 7 comedians on every show. We've been doing it a year. And it's a supper club. It's like 100 seats, and I host it. So it's just really fun. And so, yeah, come to LA. You could be on my show.
Fantastic.
It coincides. Is he funny?
Jay?
Yeah.
He has his moments.
You could tell that butter.
I'll tell the butter story.
Yeah, the butter story.
And if I'm not funny, I'll just give everyone some butter.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll laugh.
And then they'll forget I was even there. And it's just all mute.
We'll sign an affidavit saying that this never happens. We don't even know you.
It's not that kind of supper club, Jay. Although it sounds very appetizing. Wendy's hanging out with us. So you're doing the show. You do a show tonight. Do you like doing the junket stuff and then a show? Like, is that kind of annoying? Like, you got to turn it on for radio, turn it on, or can you just? Is it automatic for you?
You know, I'm such a weird sleeper. I'm an insomniac.
Okay.
And so I got here late last night, and then it's 3 hours earlier. So I didn't go to sleep until 8 this morning. So then I slept during the day. So then I just woke up, and here I am. And then I'm going to eat a little and then do some show. It's like it is what it is. I love it. I love it all.
Turn it on. You just turn it on when you have to.
Yeah. I want to know why you were at Jeff Goldblum's wedding. Was it to the massage therapist?
His
or
wife.
She's a dancer?
So my wife grew up with Jeff's wife, and they did gymnastics together. They represented Canada for gymnastics. And then I think Emily actually ended up going to the Olympics, and my wife didn't. She didn't make the cut. And then Emily went out there to do a career, and I think I don't know how they met, and I'll tell you, because they have a child now,
yeah, they just had a baby,
who's only a month older than our child, and it's really beautiful. Like, you really, and I know the age, and I know the difference, and I know people, sometimes question it, maybe not as much as they would in LA, and it truly is a very loving, beautiful relationship, and it's kind of like, selfishly, it's really neat for me being a Canadian radio show saying I'm friends with Jeff Goldblum. Like, it helps, it helps my stature in some fake cheesy
really
way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you catch the bouquet? Oh, you're married, so.
Yeah. I didn't catch.
But that is so cool.
Oh yeah.
So Gary Shandling was there. Who else was there?
I literally was sitting like next to Gary. Like, it was
sweetheart.
It was crazy. It was actually crazy. Ed Begley Jr. is a very good friend of Jeff Goldblum's, and it wasn't like very celebrity influenced. It wasn't like that.
Was it in LA?
It was in LA, yes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm even supposed to talk about. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
okay.
No, I don't.
Right,
I never
know.
No, it's so long ago. It's over a year ago. It was at the Chateau Marmont. Yeah, it was very beautiful. It really was. It was a really gorgeous wedding.
I've been there once. I can't believe they let me in. Okay. It's like so snooty there, right?
I don't know enough about it. I went wearing a fedora. Like, I always wear hats. I just.
And it costs like $26 to park there.
Is that what it is?
Something crazy.
But that's kind of like everywhere in LA.
Not $26.
No.
Well, that's American. I haven't figured out the exchange rate yet.
It'd be a lot. You're doing well here. Hang out in
But
Canada.
I gave a $20 bill last night to buy a cup of coffee. Well, I shouldn't be drinking coffee at night, but I know. But and she handed me back a $20 Canadian, a $20 bill Canadian. And I'm like, wow.
I like the way
Add some change.
Yeah, I had some change. It's amazing.
And then I can't get over like the $2 coin.
The toonie. I know. Do we still have loonies? Yeah, we have loonies.
What's a loonie?
A loonie's a $1 coin.
Oh, yeah, I got some of those too. And then it's just like fake money to me. Like, I know it's real.
Yeah.
But I don't usually carry change. So it's in it's in my purse somewhere.
Sounds like you have no problem paying $26 for parking.
No, I did. That was crazy. I had to wash dishes that night.
Yeah. Wendy Liebman.
I just left my car. I don't like my car
we didn't even
anyway,
need the car. The parking was more than the lease a month. Yeah. That's so fun. Well, Wendy, it's really great to meet you. You are, I'll tell you, I got into this business for a few reasons, and it's because I love David Letterman, and I never actually thought I could do any of this hosting. It was never really something I ever thought I could do, and still some say I can't do it very well, including my boss. But when I meet people who've been on like shows like Letterman, numerous amounts of times, or was recently on America's Got Talent, and like Stern was a big fan of yours, and that kind of stuff. And listen, Stern, while I did morning radio for many years of my life, I don't know a ton about him, but obviously he's the best in the world at what he does. I mean, that makes it, that validates what we do when guests like that have been with those legends, and they look at you and respect you and love you. I think obviously not only for your talent, but you seem like a super good person, and I hope that comedians or any entertainer coming up in this day and age learns from people like you. I think it's a really cool thing.
It's all the therapy.
It works.
I also had my palm read recently.
And what they say?
And they said, this woman said I was really funny, and that's because I was wearing mittens. I'm just telling jokes.
You're killing it. You're killing it. Canadians are so easy to please, aren't we?
Well, I have to say, I love the Canadian audiences. They really are like they love to laugh. I mean, I'm stereotyping.
No, I mean, because what we love, Canada's a funny country because we're very PC. We don't, you can't offend anymore in comedy clubs in Canada. We saw a bit of that at SiriusXM's Top Comic. It was very difficult to be sort of a ruthless comic. And with you, I think it's like you're very, well, I'm sure you can get dirty within your jokes. It's very, you're not threatening. You're very disarming of an audience. And so we'll laugh at that. I mean, it's a great thing.
Right. What happened did you have a contest or something?
So SiriusXM is doing the Top Comic here, $25,000 goes to the winner.
Did I win?
Well, I mean,
does this count?
we can put. Wait, how do we? Is there? You want to headline it? Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a piece. I don't know. I have nothing to do with it.
Hey, I'll have a tip jar. I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. We'll get a ton of toonies and loonies in there. Anyway, so I guess Tyler Morrison's one of our buddies.
Yeah.
And I guess he didn't win over the crowd because Tyler's kind of a roast type of joker, and I don't, maybe you've experienced this, and Jay can speak to it too. Is people are sensitive in comedy clubs, which sucks. It's the last. Let your fucking guard down. Be offended. Stop being so PC. Stop being so careful. And that's, I think, what Tyler's problem is. You have 5 minutes to win over an audience, and if he comes at him with his jokes, he's obviously going to hurt some people.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Tyler just brought out too much savage material too soon, and probably would have done a little better if he would have left some of the harsher stuff towards the end of his set.
Did you audition?
No, we're not allowed. I'm not allowed to because it would
nepotism.
You
work.
Yeah.
You were a judge.
Yeah. And I would do.
Oh, were you a judge?
No. I've in the past I was, and if I did enter, I would do everything in my power to rig it, so I could win. That's what I would do. Whatever I get, stuff envelopes, ballots. I would bribe people.
He's shady, Jay. He's a bit shady.
Give them spoons.
Yes.
Spoons, yes.
Do you find comedy clubs have become are you ever worried about any of your material offending people? Is that ever a concern of yours, Wendy?
No, I'm not very offensive. Yeah. I mean, the most I say I'm Jewish. That's about it. But actually, I grew up singing Christmas. I sing Christmas carols when I get nervous. So every once in a while, I'll be in a club and I'll start singing. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I'm not offensive.
Have the clubs change though? You host a night. Do audiences we know Russell? Russell can be pretty controversial. Have you seen it change over the decades?
I've seen a lot of newer comedians not have material, and they just go on stage and just say, "So what should I talk about now?" And I'm like, do a little writing. So that's the change I've seen. But in terms of offending people, maybe I'm not in those clubs. So, Russell when he did my show, oh my God, he was just the funniest.
Is he not it's crazy.
He's crazy.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's crazy good. And a guy named Anthony Griffiths was great. Yeah, we've had 100 comedians, and I just love them all. Dana Eagle, she's great. Helen Hong. These are comedians. Jimmy Brogan. I'm just naming comedians that I think are amazing.
Are you friends with Sarah Silverman?
I'm friends enough that, she was in the hospital last week. She had like a life-threatening illness.
This
is real.
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
I just read about it on Facebook last night. I guess her throat closed up, and she was in the ICU for 5 days. And so I'm friends enough that I would write to her and say, I'm so glad you're okay.
Oh, good.
She would write back and say, thank you. I'm just happy to be alive. So, and she said she started because she saw me perform in a club, and she was like, I want to do that. So
do
comedy. I want to do comedy. Or I can, maybe what she said was,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Maybe that's what she said. I could do that if she could do that. So she's always been like amazing to me.
Excellent. Yeah, she's blown up. She's huge. She's great. Cool. Well, and Wendy, what else can we expect from you? You'll be at the Comedy Bar this weekend starting tonight, but where across are you doing a tour across North America? What's going on?
I'm going to be in Portland in August, and people can check out my comedy show, Locally Grown Comedy, in Studio City at a club called Vitello's. It's an Italian restaurant. And And I'm writing a musical.
Really?
Yeah, I'm writing a musical about stand-up.
Wow, that's smart.
3 comedians in Las Vegas over Valentine's Day weekend. And that's called Home on Tuesday. So hopefully I'll get that done soon.
Can you steal the jingle from the spoonful of sugar makes? Can you allow any rights that your family also let you?
Labels ring.
Oh, she's getting nervous. Okay. What are your social media handles? That I don't have in front of me.
Wendy Liebman on Twitter, Liebman, and I post a lot about my dog. My dog JJ, he's a rescue dog. He's like a Bichon Poodle mix. He comes from a long line of slippers. Like he's very fuzzy, and he is poisoning me with his gases, and I post about him a lot.
Oh, cool. I
have my today's JJ moment pretty much every day. And so that's on Twitter, Wendy Liebman. And then my website is wendyliebman.com, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram and MySpace. No, MySpace. And I can't do Snapchat. I can't do one more.
Snapchat's confusing too.
What is it?
I don't know.
LinkedIn. I linked out.
You linked out to Snapchat.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Wendy, honestly, I hope we can continue having you back at some point. And by the way, it's Liebman. A lot of people have trouble with the Jewish names, so I'm just throwing that out there. Wendy Liebman. And yeah, please, and we plan on going back to LA as well, where we've done some shows, and we'll be back doing it.
And now you know how to contact me.
Exactly, because I think, Bilal, you know how to contact Wendy? Yes, thank you, Bilal, and thank you.
Oh, yeah, I think you reached out to me.
I think I had 2 separate unpaid producers reach out to you.
I know.
and gave you a lot of love.
I know. I felt the love.
It's a lot of great love. Wendy, thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey, now I can say that I did that show and I see it on my dashboard.
Please do. Brag about it a little more. Be like, that guy's pretty good.
You're awesome.
Oh, you're pretty good, too.
All of you. Thank you.
Wendy Liebman, everyone.
The Todd Shapiro Show.
And don't forget to subscribe now to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Now. Hit the button. Do it. Do it now. Do it.